Hey everybody, Adrian Alvey here with Save the Day Kitchen Rescue, and this morning we're going to be doing some awesome biscuits and gravy. Super easy, and the reason I'm doing biscuits and gravy is because last night we had, for dinner, we had roast beef and potatoes and carrots and biscuits. So I made some biscuits yesterday, and I am going to include the recipe on how to make those biscuits. But these are already made here, you can see, and they're really easy to make. If you have some biscuit dough, or if you have biscuits made, or choose to make biscuits and gravy, this is a really, really big favorite, and it's so easy to make that your family's going to just love it. So I've got some breakfast sausage here. This is 6 ounces of breakfast sausage, and I'm just going to cook that up. And you got to make sure you cook sausage really thoroughly, because you can get trichinosis and other types of foodborne illnesses from pork that's not cooked well enough. So just make sure when you cook that sausage, you're going to cook it really well, so all the pink is gone. And breakfast sausage is great. And if you use like a spicy Italian sausage, that's more for like a spaghetti or a pasta, something like that. Breakfast sausage is great with biscuits and gravy. And what we're going to do, as soon as that's done, I'm going to grab a quick plate here.
It smells wonderful. See that sizzle?
When that's done, I'm actually going to set that aside a little bit, and I'm going to cook the sauce right in the same pan. So I like to do that a lot when cooking with meats, is cook it, and if I'm going to make a sauce or something, I'm going to use the same pan that I cook the meat in, because it really helps with those flavors, helps keep them in. And that's just about done here. As you can see, it's nice and chopped, and I like to have it without really big chunks in it.
Hi Kelly. Kelly Walton's with us right now.
Hey Kelly. And so I like to have them pretty well crumbled up. You make big chunks of sausage in there, and the gravy is just, you don't want to get too big chunks in it. So I'm going to take that out.
Good morning, Stephanie and Jessica.
Hey guys.
We're making biscuits and gravy. It's smelling good around here.
Yeah, and you know what? Nothing wrong with leaving like the little crumbs and stuff behind in there. That's not going to hurt at all. So I'm going to put a 1/4 cup of butter or margarine in there, and a 1/4 cup of flour. Now, this is a similar that you're going to use with almost any cream sauce or red or white sauce.
Flour and butter.
Flour and butter. And a roux, as you call it here, a roux is something that you can use made with flour and oil of some kind to make a thickened sauce of any kind. And so this base right here is really common that you can use with lots of different dishes. It's 1/4 cup flour, a 1/4 cup butter or margarine or oil or some kind of oil or something like that. And we're actually going to cook that for about 30 seconds, and then when we add some milk to that, it's going to thicken it up. So you can use this with a nice white sauce with pasta. I like to make a dish called creamed eggs, and my family has that sometimes, and nobody knows about it. It's so good. You use hard-boiled eggs, you make the same sauce, and you put the eggs in there, and you put it over toast, and it's like so
We'll do it for sure after Easter, because that's when everyone has hard-boiled eggs.
Oh, you're right. Let's do creamed eggs after Easter. Fantastic.
Yeah, it's a good one.
So that's ready to go. I'm going to put a couple of cups of milk, 2 cups of milk. So 1/4 cup flour, 1/4 cup of oil or butter, and 2 cups of milk. And that will make you there a really nice white sauce anytime. So turn up the heat just a little bit to get that warmer to medium.
5.
Yeah, this 5 goes a little higher than normal 5, I think. But once this warms up, that's going to thicken up. So you don't want to try to mess with it before it starts to bubble and boil, because it's not fully complete until then. And so while that's cooking, what we're going to do is after this is thickened, we're going to add, or in fact we can do it now, we can add the 1 teaspoon of our Alvy's Incredible seasoning, and that's the only seasoning we're going to use for biscuits and gravy. It is super good on pretty much anything, and we're going to use that to flavor our white sauce here for our biscuits and gravy.
That's the bulk size. It also comes in a smaller glass jar that's refillable. Or if you want to start super small, you can try the travel set. You get 6 little
mini jars, yeah. So we have 18 different seasonings that you could use pretty much on any food. I mean, if you really wanted to use a different flavor on the biscuits and gravy, you could. You could use the strong arm, or you could use the Mexican or something else if you want to get creative.
That would be good.
But we're going to go standard here, and this is really great on pretty much whatever you want. Here's a couple tips on biscuits, okay? So these are made from scratch. It's just a few ingredients, really easy to make. In fact, all it is flour, baking powder, a little tiny bit of sugar and salt, and you cut
They were
in
delicious.
shortening, right? So if you haven't cut in before, there's a pastry cutter. It's see if it might be dirty still, but no, it's dirty. But what you do is you take a really hard butter or shortening, and you mix it in with flour by using a pastry cutter, so it ends up looking like a sandy texture, has little chunks in it, and that helps get the fluffiness. So when you open a biscuit and it's fluffy, it's because of those chunks of
I didn't know that.
fat in there. Yeah, and same thing when we make, which is another thing we really like to make, is roti, which is an Indian flatbread. Super easy because all it is
Yum,
flour and
yum.
salt and water, and then you put a little butter or some margarine on it, and when you cook it, it ends up layery and flaky. So anything that you ever see that's layery or flaky, that's because of the oil and the butter. And so I can tell just it's getting a little bit silky now. Is the first step on the sauce. Is it gets a little bit of a silky texture rather than milky, and then it gets thick. And we will add that sausage back in now. If you really wanted to, you could add the butter and the flour just right on top of the sausage. You could just cook it all together if you wanted to. There's nothing stopping you from doing that. Okay, and the biscuits, we put them on a baking sheet. We put them all close together so they just fluff up right next to each other, so you kind of break them apart from each other.
Connected.
And that helps them stay, get nice and high and fluffy. And you bake them on really high heat, 450 degrees for like 12 minutes. And then that's all it takes for those. And so this is very close now.
You should tell them what you put on the biscuit tops. What the little bit of
actually, yeah, this
seasonings.
time I just put a little bit of oil on top and then put a little Albi's Incredible on top of that. You could do the Italian seasoning if you want on the biscuits. Just gives a really great little garlicky flavor. It's fantastic. Take a look here at the sauce here as it's getting a little bit thicker. You can see we haven't been cooking that long, but that's ready to go basically. It's a nice thick white sauce. I'm gonna go ahead and add this back in.
So with the wire whisk, is it a little easier to keep the sausage out while you're stirring, or just let's...
Yeah, I'm actually switching to just a regular
Okay.
thing right now. So with breakfast sausage, the key ingredient that makes breakfast sausage different than any other sausage or meat or whatever is the herb sage. So you use sage a lot in stuffing for Thanksgiving and whatnot. And breakfast sausage is really common to use, but don't use too much sage, because if you put too much sage in, it's overpowering.
It's a strong flavor.
Easily overpowered. So use a little bit of sage.
But that sage is already in the sausage, yes? That breakfast sausage?
Yes, so breakfast sausage already has a
Adds
little bit of
a
sage.
little
But if you're making your own, or if you want to make your own biscuits and gravy and you have some other kind of sausage, you want to add a little sage to it, you can make it breakfasty if you want to. So there we go, and we're done. Let me grab my plate here. And
It's too bad we can't have all of our friends over right now to enjoy this with us.
I know, so you basically break open a biscuit there, and I've warmed this up in the microwave.
So the biscuit, being that it's a leftover biscuit, kind of softens it up a little bit once you heat it up.
And guys, there you go, super good, super easy. You know, let's go ahead and take a sample bite because that's part of it, right? I gotta show you what it tastes like. Okay.
That's comfort food right there.
It is comfort food, and the nice thing is you're using one seasoning. I mean, just with one seasoning, and that's it. And the flavor, it's literally restaurant quality biscuits and gravy there. You can't get better than that. So thank you so much, guys. That's our biscuits and gravy comfort food Save the Day Kitchen Rescue Edition. So guys, have a great day, and we will see you next time.
Thank you.